my beautiful friends out there. I'm so thrilled to have you guys with me for another pick-a-card. And welcome if this is the first time you're joining me. My name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I deliver messages through the cards that help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So in today's reading, I'm going to be diving into the cards to find out what the karma is for the person that hurt you. Now, this could be literally anyone in your life. It could be a lover, a friend, family member, co-worker. We will find out when we dive into the cards that are in front of me, because these three piles feature cards that are going to fill me in on the connection between the two of you. How do you know them and what went down? Why is this karma coming towards them in the first place? Then I'm going to dive into some other decks and find out exactly what karma has in store for them. So as I mentioned, I have three piles in front of me. There's a variety of different items for each pile, and each one of these items is going to play out into the reading. And in addition, I have three pieces of Ana Luisa jewelry from my personal collection. I absolutely love this brand. You guys have heard me talk about them in previous readings if you've been following me for a while. I discovered them about a year ago, and I've been wearing Ana Luisa jewelry every single day since. And not only are the pieces absolutely gorgeous, but they're really, really great quality. If you take care of them, like don't wear them in the shower and, take off the jewelry if you're going to be like spraying perfume or like putting hand lotion on, things like that you should really do for all of your jewelry. They are going to last for a really, really, really long time. And they do use semi-precious stones and recycled materials as well, which I absolutely love. So in pile number one, you have a piece of smoky quartz, a stick of Palo Santo, and this beautiful serpent Ana Luisa ring that has these gorgeous green crystal eyes, which I absolutely love. Then pile number two, there's this piece of black kyanite, the camel charm, as well as the malachite ring. And then pile number three, there's the spiky seed pod, a little pig charm, the yellow jasper stone, as well as this blue crystal, it's actually recycled glass ring from Ana Luisa as well. So I'm going to give you guys a second to select your pile. I'll give you a close-up of the items and the cards in just a moment, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, pile number one, welcome back. So you picked the smoky quartz as well as the Palo Santo stick and this beautiful Ana Luisa ring. And this reading is a special collaboration with Ana Luisa, and as a gift to all of you at home, they have graciously offered you all 20% off on your next purchase. All you have to do is enter the code ODESSA20 at checkout, and the discount will be applied. And if you look in the description box, you will find the link to the Ana Luisa site, as well as more information about the discount code. So let's get into your reading. As I mentioned in the intro, these cards are going to let me know a little bit more about the relationship between you and the person that hurt you. Because I want to get an idea of where this all started before we get into the other decks and I find out exactly what karma has in store for this person. So let's see what you have. The first card that you have is Kindred Partnership. So this person is most likely someone that you were romantically involved in a relationship with. It might be something that never really got off the ground. It could be someone that you did date for a while. You possibly were even married to this person. But a kindred partnership makes me think of soulmates, and soulmates do not need to be romantic partners. They can be friends or family members, anyone that you have a close bond with. But this particular card is making me think that you really fell for this person. You really thought that they were like the one. Either, you're like forever person or your next best friend. They illuminated a lot of things for you. Like you really felt like you had finally been shown the right way forward, and that all of the sort of heartache from the past was behind you. And I also get this sense that there was plans for the future. Like, they came in, I think, pretty hot and heavy is the sense that I get from this card. Like, there might have been an element of love bombing that was going on in the relationship, where they loved everything about you. Everything about you was absolutely perfect. It was exactly what they had always been looking for. And that sort of set you up for a lot of pain. The next card is not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call person, boundaries, still angry. So this might be a no contact situation at this particular point in time. It might be a situation where you had to cut off contact with this person, or they might have just ghosted you. It'll be different for each of you. Then you received hills, obstacles to overcome, and then happiness. So I think that whatever happened between the two of you took you off guard. I get the sense that there were definitely like problems in the relationship, but it sort of crept up on you. And I get the sense that like everything was so blissful and perfect at one point in time that when the problems started to pop up, you thought, oh, I can work on this. We can get past this, because, you know, you thought that everything you had experienced in the beginning was, you know, truthful and accurate, and that it was a true representation of how this person felt about you. I don't necessarily think that you feel that way now. Mandrake, the right ingredients. Yes, going back to the love bombing energy, I really feel like this person put you on a pedestal and made you think that you were the key to their happiness, that they had never had a bond with a person with the same intensity as the one they had with you. Then gilded regret, and it's card number 5. The number 5 is an energy that is connected to conflict, specifically with the tarot. And the number 5 is also connected to the human experience. So ultimately, it also connects back to karma. So this makes me think that this was likely a karmic connection. Like, you were drawn together with this person to ultimately learn something. And that is likely because the only way for you to learn a particular lesson was to really like confront your own fears. And through that process, there can be a lot of pain. And it's not a punishment at all. Like, it might have felt really devastating, and you might even have some like anger towards spirit. And the word that just keeps coming forward is regret, like the gilded regret. This particular card really talks about having regret around the things that you indulged in, even though at the time they were very fulfilling. And this can also be talking about being in a gilded cage. Like, everything seems so perfect at face value, but it's all surface. And then when you dive down deeper, there's a lot of pain. It's like being in a situation where you have a partner. This is just an example. This likely will not resonate for most of you, but this is what's coming forward. Being in a relationship with a person who maybe is financially very well off, they're very attractive, they're very successful, and to the rest of the world, everyone thinks, wow, you're so lucky, you have this amazing partner, but behind closed doors, they treat you like garbage. So that's like the trade-off here, right? Like, yeah, you might have fancy clothes and not have to like really struggle to pay your bills, or, you know, like you have all the material wealth and you have the public image, but the emotional piece of the puzzle is completely missing. Then you have time to tinker. And the sense that I get from this is that this person just played with your emotions. I get the sense that this person came in hot and heavy, really, really like, you know, put their, you know, energy towards winning you over. And then all of a sudden you couldn't get a hold of them any longer. It depends on the circumstance. Like each of you, it will be different. But I think for some of you, it was like this person just like easily had their head turned by other people. And in some cases, it might have been a slow, drawn out, like painful ending to the relationship. And for others of you, it might have been just somebody who just never returned your call. Like one day they're like, you're the love of my life. I could never live without you. We can get through all of these obstacles. We are destined to be together. And literally the next day they're not returning your calls, you know, like just, and you would have been in this state where you're like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand this. Like what happened? What did I do? You didn't do anything. This was all designed to play out exactly this way because in a karmic situation, you are learning the equal yet opposite lesson. And from my perspective, based on what I'm seeing in these cards, you were ultimately learning to have stronger boundaries to be able to identify some of these like manipulation tactics that, you know, are very, very effective because oftentimes they are playing on our deepest desires to be like loved and to be seen as someone who is worthy, right? But they were sort of like using your own vulnerabilities against you because for you to like sort of like put your heart in another person's hands who is showing a lot of red flags, it means that part of, you know, your inner dialogue, whether you're aware of it or not, is feeling like love is a struggle and that it's a sacrifice and that you have to sort of give up certain aspects of self. Now, the other person was learning from you that they shouldn't take people for granted. That's strongly the energy that's coming forward, that you were like a gift that was being given to this person, and clearly they did not see it that way because I think that this person moved on to other relationships really, really quickly. Some of you might already know this. For some of you, you might have actually like found out that there was some infidelity or something going on. But for others of you, you just had suspicions. You never found out anything concrete. Okay, so if this resonates for you, then this is your reading, and we're going to get into the karma now. If this doesn't fit with your circumstances, then you might want to pick one of the other piles. Okay, so let's find out what karma is coming towards you. Not you. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so I don't believe in accidents when it comes to these readings because I'm directly channeling. So honestly, that little slip up makes me think that partially some of the karma that, like this karmic situation, might have actually came about as a result of some of the behavior that you displayed in previous readings. Now, I know no one likes to hear that, right? But, you know, we all have like a journey for growth. We're all here to learn lessons and grow. I've said this many times before in previous readings if you've joined me before. So you might have actually broken somebody else's heart in the past. And this time around, you had to have your heart broken. Now, you might be thinking, no, I never did that. I've always been so loyal. But the life that you're living right now is just one chapter in the story of your soul. And that means that if you betrayed someone, it might not have been in this life. This might be karma that you're having to pay off from a previous life. But even if that is part of the circumstances of why this person came in, they've still incurred some karma. Okay, so let's find out what karma is coming towards the person that hurt you. Okay. So, we've got Sentinel, Determination, and Certainty. The Smith, Overthinking, Taking Action. The Hound, loyalty, chains, promises. And then the Catalyst, radical changes, taking control. Wow, and this is a black crystal. So, okay, this Catalyst card is speaking of Tower energy. This person is in for a rude awakening is what's coming forward. Everything that they have planted in their life is what they are going to reap, right? The seeds of discontent is what's coming forward. I think that doorways are going to be closed to them. They are going to want to have opportunities, and those doors are not going to be open. Whereas if they had made the right choice with you, they would have had multiple pathways that they could have walked down. That doesn't mean that the two of you were going to end up living happily ever after, but they could have walked away from the connection with you and been respectful and been like not only respectful of you, but also like the word that's coming forward is nurturing and compassionate of the bond that the two of you had, right? Whereas I feel like they just they just walked away not only did the connection between the two of you not matter in their eyes, but you didn't matter, right? It was like you were invisible to them, whereas you had been the primary focus of their happiness. Like literally it feels like days before. Like this feels like it was a dramatic shift, like a 180, and that's what's going to happen for them. Now, if they had done like the disconnection with you in a respectful way, like just, been honest and open with you, then they would have had the opportunity to walk down another pathway, but they chose to be disrespectful. They chose to not honor you. So doorways are going to be closed to them, and it is certain they're not going to be able to open those doors. They're going to have to walk a path of pain, whereas they could have walked down a path that would have been much more enlightening and illuminating is what's coming forward. Like they could have learned the lesson without having to have karma smack them in the face, and that is not an option anymore because they've shown that they need to really have a heavy lesson. They have to have something taken away from them that they really want for them to realize that everyone around them matters, that you are a special person, and this was a beautiful opportunity. They're not getting that. I think they see themselves as invincible, and this might be a person who is really attractive, or they have certain privileges is the sense that I get. Like they're not used to people closing doors on them, and that's exactly why the universe is doing that. There's going to be a dramatic change. They're going to be working hard to get ahead. Working really hard. And this is not necessarily going to be in this, within their love relationship. So just remember that karma doesn't always play things out the way that the circumstances were set up in the first place. So just because they broke your heart doesn't mean that someone else is going to break their heart. This is going to play out in their lives in a way that will hurt them the most. So it's equal amounts of pain. So they can relate to the feelings that you have had. So if they're really, really focused on image or their career or the things that they own, the material things, they're going to start losing money. They're not going to get promotions. People are going to overlook them for things. They're going to have to work and work and work and work and work. And they're going to be lost. They're going to be trying, like the Smith, to build something, but nothing that they do ever comes into fruition. Nothing is blossoming from this. It's just more and more. The word that's coming forward is tedious. The Hound, it says loyalty, chains, promises. People will make promises to them and they won't ever deliver on those promises, which is exactly what this person did to you. They promised things that they had no intention of ever, actually fulfilling. They are a person that says things in the moment because they like the way that it makes them feel when you look at them with admiration or desire or appreciation. And that needs to stop, right? Like, they need to figure out who they are inside so that they're not constantly seeking validation outside of themselves. And they also need to start recognizing that who you are inside and like the true bonds that we have with, you know, other people in our lives and spirit and our environment. I mean, like literally the planet and like pets and animals, all of the sentient creatures around them is way more important than, you know, having a fancy car or, you know, a certain job title. Things like that are really transient and meaningless because, you know, the universe can bestow gifts in that form on us, but the universe can take it away just as easily. So they are going to want things that they are going to be barred from. So let's find out a little bit more about the karma that's going to come towards this person that hurt you. What karma is the person that hurt pile number 1 going to receive as a result of their actions? Oh my Lord. Okay. So the first card, this one wants to come to. Okay, they got genius, combination, boogeyman, the other side, and escape. Wow. They are literally going to be walking into a living nightmare. Now, for some of these people, they might actually have spiritual gifts and they might start having a lot of nightmares, even like sleep terrors, sleep paralysis. That's not going to resonate for everyone, but there is this sense of lower vibrational energies coming into this person's life because they've lowered their own vibration by acting in a selfish way. And as a result of that, they've opened themselves up to energies that they can't physically see that will sort of steer them in the wrong direction. The sense that I get is that the guidance that they're going to be receiving, that they're going to think is intuitive, is actually coming from lower vibrational energies. And those lower vibrational energies feed off of lower vibrational energies. So the advice is going to be terrible, basically. They're not going to be able to trust their own instincts. Their instincts are going to guide them towards more pain, and they're going to feel like there's just no escape. They can't get out of this, and they can't get to the other side. They might actually have other people in their life that all of a sudden turn on them, you know, like this feels kind of narcissistic. And narcissism, I know that it's sort of like a term that a lot of people sort of throw around. But narcissism is a spectrum, and we all have a certain amount of narcissism where we are sort of like focused on self above and beyond everything else. But there are people that partner that with this dark magician kind of energy where they are cruel and they are scheming. They are literally taking decisive action to manipulate people to benefit themselves. And I get the sense that this person is going to meet their match. They are going to meet someone who is more skilled at manipulation, and they might end up losing money. Like, this might be a situation where some of these people, for some of you, end up being scammed in some way, and they get attacked and they're not expecting it. It comes out of nowhere. Now, this person does have a wandering eye, and I do get the sense that they might, if they don't participate in infidelity, it might just be like where they're like a perpetual bachelor or bachelorette, and like they put themselves in risky situations is the sense that I get. Like, they might end up getting an STD or getting, you know, having some circumstances where they are taken advantage of, you know, like they meet someone and they have a one-night stand and that person steals their wallet, you know, like that kind of thing, like where they have set themselves up for this kind of pain. You know, the universe isn't going to protect them from the, you know, the aftermath of their own decisions. You know, like you allow yourself to get into a risky situation. Okay, fine, you're not learning from people gently guiding you away from this. All right, fine, lose some stuff. We're okay with that, you know? And I think that they are going to slowly start to morph and change. Like, they think they're a real genius. They think that, like, they are so smart at, like, how they puppet master other people. But this is slowly turning them into a monster, and a monster that they're not going to be able to hide from the rest of the world. There might be people in their life that are their defenders, you know, like they might be very covert about like the shady things that they do, or they surround themselves with other people that have the same mentality. So like they back them up and they don't have an issue. Like an example is somebody who has a wandering eye, does have a tendency to cheat on their significant other, and then they hang out with other people that like to do the same thing, and their friends aren't gonna like, you know, call them out for it or give them up because they equally have the same secrets. But I get the sense that this person is going to be like morphing and changing to the point where people are going to be like, wait a minute, no, this is going too far. Like, this is a situation where I don't want to be around you anymore. Like, they might even have, for some of them, they might have an accident or something about their appearance is changing. So this might be a situation where all of a sudden they start to lose their hair, you know, like male pattern baldness is coming forward, or they just start to have the signs of age, right? Like they think that they are going to be young and youthful and beautiful forever, and they use that sort of magic to their advantage, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's not working the same way because, you know, like they're getting older. And beauty is something that can easily be taken away by the universe. You know, like there's various reasons like why someone would start to have a dramatic decline in their looks. They might have a health issue that comes forward. They might have an accident. Not that I am wishing this on anyone. I'm just saying that that's what's coming forward, that they might have some sort of accident that happens, right? Because this particular deck is this Halloween deck that features all of these movies, and this combination card is from The Fly. And this particular movie, like one of the main points was there was an accident in his experiment, and that's where he ended up being this monster. So it could be something like that, and like people that they might have been messing around with, like just don't want to have anything to do with them any longer, you know, like the people that they thought like really desired them, they start to realize like it was all surface level as well. And if maybe they lose all their money and they don't have like the flashy lifestyle anymore and nobody wants to be around them. So let's get some more cards and find out some more about what's going to be taking place with this person. What karma is pile number one's person going to receive? Okay. So, love, young, playful, talent, envy, infidelity, wife, arrogant, support, deception, and rage. All right. So, just like I was saying, this person, I think, at one point, possibly even still now, was someone who really embodied youth, was probably very, what the sense that I get is that they were very attractive, but attractiveness can come forward in a lot of different ways. Maybe they just had a lot of youthful energy. They were really funny. They dressed youthful. Or they were carefree, like with the playful card. They just had this spark, this something special. Maybe they had a lot of talents and, you know, people just loved them. I get this Romeo kind of energy that comes forward, but all of that is no longer going to be a tool in their toolkit. I think that they, like, the infidelity card has come forward. I do think that they have perpetrated this crime in the past. And this might be a situation where people start to cheat on them. That if they have a wife or a significant other, like, this is just a signifier of a long-term committed partnership, that their long-term committed partner is not faithful to them or finds out about their infidelity and their deception, and they are going to be raging about this, and nobody is going to be there to support them. It could be a situation where, like, really the house of cards falls down around them, because there was that tower energy. When the tower comes in, it's like the rug is completely pulled out from under you. There is nowhere to grab onto. You are just going to fall until literally you have nothing left. And then you rebuild from there. But they have too much arrogance as a result of the fact that they've gotten away with a lot of these deceptions in the past. And they're extremely envious of other people. That green-eyed monster within them is changing them into someone who is going to not only, you know, like, that energy will manifest. You know, the envy that you have of other people and that, like, coveting what they have will start to manipulate and change the circumstances of their life so that they really have nothing. And there's a reason for them to be envious of what other people have. But honestly, they did this to themselves. Like, they have no one to blame but themselves. And these talents, either they are potentially going to lose some of their abilities. I don't know. Once again, what's coming forward is maybe they're going to have an accident where they have to go into physio and they're not going to be able to participate in whatever this talent is. Or they're going to lose a position, or someone's going to overshadow them. Like, they were the best and then someone better comes along. Like, there is going to be a reason to feel like envy. Like, the universe is going to give them a real reason to be envious. And they're going to be raging about this. And I think that they're going to really lose their cool. I don't think that they're going to be able to hide, like, that monstrous side of them. So I want to find out if there's any, like, final pieces of advice that Spirit has for you as a result of this. What's coming forward directly is that don't wait around to see what happens to this person. A lot of this stuff is going to be happening behind closed doors. This person is very, very good at editing their image. So they are not going to be publicly falling apart. You would have to still be really close to this person and their inner circle to really see how this all plays out. There might be a point in time in the future where you start to realize this, whether it is a situation where someone that's a mutual friend comes forward and tells you some sort of horror story or some gossip about this person, or this person actually might come back around. So if this person comes back around in the future and all of a sudden they're saying I'm sorry and they're trying to rebuild things, it's because the tower has fallen and they are looking for some soft place to land. Don't fall for it. Okay, what else can you tell? Pile number 1. Okay. Pile number 1. Love it. Okay. So the guidance from Spirit is the Sun, the Hierophant, the 10 of Wands, and the 6 of Swords. This was a karmic situation. You passed with flying colors. You are doing all of the right things. What your guides want you to know is that it's time for you to completely let go of this person. Now, many of you is what's coming forward, don't talk to this person at all anyways. I already got the sense that this is a no contact situation, but they're still in your energy, right? Because they're coming out in this reading. So even if you didn't come to this reading specifically asking about the person that's coming forward, The fact that they have come forward in this reading means that their energy is still within your auric field, and they're still ruminating, like where they're still bouncing around inside your mind. So there might be some ties that you have to cut with this person energetically, of course. There might be literal ties, right? Like if you have stuff of theirs, throw it out or give it to someone who could give it back to them. Like, don't have that around you, because every single time you see it, it's going to automatically make you think of this person, and that strengthens the bond between the two of you. And in terms of energy, that creates what's known as a cord. It is a function of quantum entanglement, which is part of theoretical physics, which is basically that two particles can be linked even at great distances. So your energy, because of the connection that you've had with them, you are entangled with this person, and until you finally make the point of severing that tie, they will still be able to sort of pull on your heartstrings. An example of this is they just pop into your head out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you feel like a lot of shame or remorse, or you just feel anxious, because that word came forward earlier, anxiety. You have to let them go. Know that none of this worked out the way that it did because you're flawed in any way. Like, it was literally designed to be difficult, right? The 10 of Wands, it was supposed to be a difficult journey. It was karmic in nature. And I know that sucks. I've been there. Oh my God. So many times. Oh my God. Like, I hope and pray for you that this is the last time you have to experience this. But what I can say is that it's really up to you. If you decide that you're going to, give it another go with this person, or you entertain connections with another person that's similar to this, then that will be a sign to the universe that you haven't really learned the lesson, and then you have to repeat it. Like, the Hierophant is the teacher, the institutional teacher, like Saturn, like guiding you forward through the hard and heavy lessons of life so that you can be emancipated. And you will be. The Sun is in your future, which is the happiest card in the tarot. All of this is working out in your favor. It's just a matter of time, right? Timing is everything. And once you get far enough ahead in the future, you will recognize that this was a blessing in disguise, because you will be able to clearly identify the beautiful lessons that you learned as a result of this. And by that point, you'll probably be in a harmonious relationship, or, have good friends, or whatever the circumstances is. Like I said, I do think for many of you, this was a love connection. But kindred partnerships, it could be like your best friend betrayed you, and you're like, how can I ever trust another person again? You will. You'll find the right people. The universe will help guide you towards the right people, but you need to start working right now in the present on figuring out what the warning signs were, and then hold tight to that. Don't feel like you're being judgmental of a person by taking a step back if you meet someone in the future and they're showing some of the same red flags. It's the universe testing you. It's happening for a reason, so that you can overcome the lesson, learn it, close that cycle, and then move into the Sun. So that concludes your reading, pile number 1. I hope that this resonated for you. I would love to know your thoughts in the reading, I would love to know your thoughts on the reading in the comment section below. And for those of you who don't feel comfortable giving me a lot of information, I am doing this on the full moon eclipse right before Samhain or Halloween. So maybe you can leave a jack-o'-lantern, because that is featured on the boogeyman card. And I do think that this person was a little bit of a boogeyman or monster in your life, so you can leave that. And when you engage with the reading, it actually creates a stronger bond between us, so the reading will actually be more accurate. I'll be able to tap into your energy on a deeper level in the future, and you'll notice a major change. A lot of these readings will start to feel like personal readings for you if they aren't already. And of course, it helps the channel as well. So liking and subscribing and commenting, all of that stuff is really, really helpful. So I I hope that you guys have an amazing day. Don't forget about the Ana Luisa discount code that you can find in the description below. And I wish you so much love, and I can't wait to read for you guys again in the future. Take care. Hi, pile number 2, welcome back. So you picked the malachite ring, black kyanite shard, as well as this little camel charm. And as I mentioned in the intro, these cards are going to give me a general overview of the relationship that you have with this person. Who are they and what went down between the two of you? You know, what created the need for karma to come in and teach a lesson. And then I'm going to dive into more decks and figure out exactly what karma this person is going to experience. And I also want to mention to you guys that this is a collaboration with Ana Luisa, the jewelry brand that I was talking about in the intro. And they have gifted all of you at home a 20% discount. So if you find something on their site that you really love, enter the code ODESSA20 at checkout and the discount will be applied. The link to their site is below, along with more information about the discount. All right, so let's get into these cards and find out who this person is. So the first card that you received is family, friends, and guides. So it's likely that this person is either a family member, a friend. They could be a boss or a mentor, a teacher of some sort in your life. And this is card number 6. It's also possible that this, for a smaller group of you, that this is a person who you were connected to in a love relationship, but possibly they started off as a friend, or you met them through a family member or a mentor or friends. Then you received cassette. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block. Then playing it safe, card number 6. Then Iris, messages and signs. Followed by scissors, disappointment in some affair. Then the Queen of My World, card number 24, which reduces down to the number 6. So you've got 6, 6, 6. So that is bringing forward devil energy because, of course, in popular culture, 666 does refer to the devil. And in tarot, that's talking about addictions and codependency. Then the final card is bad company. So this is sort of like a mix of different people that are coming forward. The sense that I get is this person has sort of like covert narcissistic tendencies. They know how to expertly, is what's coming forward, manipulate people. They have a way of twisting facts or subtly providing guidance to you that initially comes across like it is caring and supportive, but it's actually guiding you down the wrong path. They're playing on your own insecurities, and it's because they want you to prioritize their needs. They want all of the focus on them. And for some of them, they really like to mess with people. They enjoy that sort of like power dynamic, and they really like to be able to puppet master and like pull the strings. So for some of you, if this is like a toxic family member, this might have been something that you had to live in as you were growing up. And it created this codependent relationship with them, which you then mirrored in other relationships. So that might be why there's that romantic energy that's coming forward. Like there might be a particular love partner that you came to this reading to find out about. And what your guides are saying is that, yeah, that is real, that happened, but the root cause of it goes back to a family member or a friend relationship. There was someone that was supposed to be guiding you and supporting you and giving you positive encouragement, helping you to figure out life's problems, and they were completely steering you in the wrong direction. And it was a repeating pattern. You might have learned how to sort of like fade into the background, is the sense I get, like with the playing it safe, like the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, is the energy I get. So like staying with someone, like they might have told you, you know, you confide in them about a relationship that you're in that you're not happy in, and there's all these red flags and all of this toxic stuff going on, and you ask them for guidance, like, what do you think about this? And even though they can see that this is not a good dynamic for you, they encourage you to stay in it because it serves them. If you will allow someone else to like mistreat you and control you, it keeps you in this state of like a lower vibrational state where they're able to control you as well. Like it's quite like sad, and it's likely a pattern that they learned from somewhere else as well. Like they probably equally had some sort of toxic dynamic in their life that taught them that they had to like be cunning, and that you can't lead with love because love is a vulnerability. And then it just turned into something where like it distorted their own energy, it distorted their own personality. And there might be lots of people that actually think that this person is really great. Like I said, I get the sense that it's very covert, that this is something that they're doing behind closed doors, or like when you first met them, if this was like a friend or a mentor, you thought they were amazing, and then it was like slowly over time you started to realize like, oh, wait a minute, I'm feeling terrible and things aren't working out for me. And like they're doing it on purpose is the sense that I get. Like they are like watching you, analyzing you, and figuring out ways that they can use your own vulnerabilities against you. And when I look at these items that were partnered with this reading, first you have the camel. So a camel is a pack animal. It's used to either carry around supplies or people through harsh conditions, through the desert. So I get the sense that you were required to do all of the heavy lifting in this relationship. You had to anticipate this person's needs, and you could not ask for anything. You had to deal with all of your own emotional needs, and you were sort of like walking on eggshells. I get the sense that this person could like literally shift their energy at the drop of a hat. Like if you made plans with this person, you had to like think ahead of what this person might not only want now, but what they might want in the future, because they're constantly shifting their energy. Like they, you know, on one, like at one moment they want to eat lasagna for dinner, and then you prepare a lasagna, you put it on the table, and they're like, no, I don't want to eat lasagna, I want to eat chicken. Like it's just like you never know where you stand, and you're constantly playing things over in your mind. I get the sense that they like will gaslight you, twist facts. Like you will be certain that they told you that they wanted lasagna, and then they're telling you, no, I told you after that I had changed my mind and I wanted chicken. Your memory is terrible. You never remember anything. Like it's just, they're doing it covertly, and they're doing it to manipulate you. And they might even have people that they like get to side with them. Like they're really good at public image. They're really good at like presenting themselves as an authority, the queen. Could be that this person is like a woman, or like in their feminine energy. They don't have to be, of course. The other items that you selected is one, malachite. So malachite is a stone that's connected to transmutation of low vibrational energy and having resourcefulness, and being able to bar yourself from being affected by somebody else's energy, to not like absorb that. So you actually might be very empathetic. You might even identify yourself as an empath. And you are definitely like influenced by the feelings and the energy of another person. Like, I think you can pick up on their dissatisfaction even if they don't say anything. And then black kyanite is used to protect us from low vibrational energy. It creates a protective barrier around your auric field, and it can also assist in cord cutting. And the scissors did come out, which to me is referencing like cutting somebody out of your life. So this might be a situation where you're not even in contact with this person anymore, or you've thought about cutting them out of your life, and you might even feel guilt. Like I said earlier, like for each of you, it's going to be different. This feels like it's like a lot of different connections. So you have to like sort of look at the underlying like message of like how this person makes you feel that's coming out in these first cards. The sense that I get is that for some of you, this is like your mom. People might actually back her up and say to you, like, how can you cut off your mom? She's your mother. It's like, but they have no idea what they're talking about. Like, and you feel really, really guilty about that. And if you haven't really faced this sort of wound in you, you might actually end up repeating this pattern in other relationships. So you might end up being around other friends or like lovers that will say like that you're the problem because they're exactly like, you know, your mom or whoever this person is. And then it's like you are the scapegoat. Everyone's ganging up on you. And then you end up in this situation where like your worldview is that you're damaged. It just keeps repeating. And that's not the case. It's that you have this sort of like this wound that you could not have controlled. This was created by spirit to help you to learn and grow. I know that sucks, right? Like, who likes to hear that? But we are here to learn and grow. Like, so you can overcome this. And the word I just wanted to say was easily. You can easily overcome this because you're the camel. You have everything that you need already. Like, you can survive anything. You don't need these people, but they've convinced you that you do. That there is something that is like damaged. And that's where the devil energy comes in. Because in the traditional tarot, the devil is about us handing willingly our power over to another person. That the chains that hold those people on the traditional Rider-Waite card are very loose, that they could easily let it go. But your mind is enslaved. And this is, for many of you, something that's been going on for a long period of time. So it will take a little bit of work for you to break out of this cycle. It's not going to just happen overnight, and that's what spirit is here. So look for the signs and synchronicities, because even though I think that the signs and messages card is saying that this person has been like looking for your vulnerabilities, looking for your insecurities so they could use them against you, spirit is also coming through and trying to give you support and guidance. You just have to like pick up on it. So that's the general energy that I'm getting for the dynamic that's playing out. If this resonates for you, then this is your pile, and I'm going to fill you in on the karma that this person or people, it feels to me for you that it's more than one person. But if this doesn't resonate, then you might want to go and pick another pile. Okay, let me just move these aside. Okay, let's find out, what is this person or people, what kind of karma are they going to experience as a result of their actions and how they treated pile number 2. Okay, let's see. So first card is Pilgrim, opportunities and growth. The Gambler, loss and risk. Then the Weaver, rediscovery and transition. The Miser, stubbornness, inflexibility. The Forgotten, missed opportunities and fear of failure. Everything that they are trying to embody in you, the fears and the lack of motivation and like the lack of drive and the feeling like you don't know what direction to go in, all of that they've projected onto you is going to manifest in their life. And what I am being told right now is that it already has been. They're just really good at concealing it. They have been reckless with the resources that have been given to them and the responsibility that was given to them. Like the pilgrim is talking about going on a quest, but this particular hand is holding a lantern, which is talking all about illumination. This person is supposed to be giving wise advice, giving guidance, and helping people to light the path forward, and they don't do that. They use their own gifts to manipulate and to deceive others, and they are going to lose the next hand. The things that they've gained, because they've gained from this. There's a reason why they've done this for all of these years, is the sense I get. But it's kind of like the roller coaster, right? Like they're building up and up and up and up and up. Oh, everything is going great. I'm moving ahead. And then they're going to hit the pinnacle of that first major hill on their track, and it's just going to come crashing down. They're going to lose a lot. And then the weaver, they've created this. They were the weaver that was building this life that they're going to have to, basically they're going to have to like unravel everything that they've already woven, is the sense that I get. And they're going to feel really lost. They're going to feel like everything that I built up, now I've lost and I have to start from the very beginning, which is exactly the way it's meant to be, because the person that they built themselves up to be is a really terrible, toxic person. Like, this is a person who's selfish and only looks at the material world and doesn't look at the spiritual or emotional side of things. They don't care about that. They see that as a weakness, and like, man, are they going to have a rude awakening? The miser, they're likely going to lose a lot of money. Like I said, resources, things are going to get very difficult, very tight, and they are going to be forgotten by a lot of other people. There's going to be missed opportunities, things that are literally things that they think are in the bag. Like, it's locked in, and all of a sudden they're going to lose an opportunity. It might even be a situation where like they sign a contract, and before they even start their new job, they get notice that, sorry, we're not going to be moving ahead, right? Like, they're not going to be able to do anything about this. This might be a situation where people that, really listen to them disconnect and just like don't listen to what they have to say. No one wants to hear what they have to say. I get the sense that people are really going to see the darkness inside this person. And I get the sense that it has a lot to do with you. That I think that you're going to disconnect, and then you're going to start to find joy and happiness. Maybe you already have. And this person is going to be obsessed with you and constantly talking about you. And they're not going to be able to let go of the loss of control. And at first, it's going to come across, they're going to paint themselves as the victim. And it is going to win over some people, right? People are going to be manipulated, like, oh, like I was saying before, like, oh my God, I'm so good to my kids and they never contact me. And people will feel sorry for them. But it's going to go on and on and on. And this person is going to need to get that attention and that control from someone. And I think that that's where things are really going to start to come into the light. People are going to start to realize, like, oh, wait a minute, this person is really manipulative. Now I see, because they're starting to play the same games on me. It's going to close a lot of doorways, and this person is going to be left alone, is the sense that I get. That they're going to be all alone, and that's exactly that's exactly what needs to happen. Because when they're alone, they will have to reflect on self, and they're going to rebel against this. And I get the sense that they might actually have their own addictions, and they might, like, either have an addiction currently that possibly you were pointing out to them. And it could be something that most people associate with the term addiction, like they drink too much, or, you know, like they do drugs or something like that. But it could be like a whole load, like loads of different things. Like they have an addiction to creating drama. They have a shopping addiction. They have an addiction to like certain foods. Like there could be any number of things, and it's going to get so much worse. It's going to really start to affect their life in a dramatically negative way. Like maybe they're gamblers. Maybe they have like a gambling addiction and they're going to literally lose everything. Now, this example that I'm about to give is not going to resonate for all of you, but for one or two of you out there, this person's gambling addiction is going to get so bad that they're going to actually start stealing money from their company or possibly other family members, and they're going to get into some legal hot water. I don't know if this is going to lead to them like actually being prosecuted, but they are definitely going to be caught, and this is going to be a major, major, major problem. And then for others, I'm being told that someone is painting themselves as like the perfect parent, and then all of a sudden it's going to be revealed that they haven't been paying child support, and people are really going to look at them in a different way as a result of that. Okay, let's see what else we've got. What karma is the person or people that hurt pile number 2 going to experience as a result of their actions? What karma is this person going to receive? The sense that I'm getting, what's coming forward, is that they're going to be waiting for answers and nothing is going to come forward. They're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting, and like maybe they're going to like be even, maybe some of these people are spiritual, and like the guidance that they're getting from their guides isn't helping, or they're not getting clarity, or you know, they are waiting on just different, like everything is going to be painfully slow is the sense that I get. And this person does not like to wait. They want to be catered to. They want all eyes on them, and they want everything to be like perfectly curated to like their needs and desires. Even if they change their mind, they want everything to always be exactly what they're anticipating. It's very childlike energy, like very immature. Okay, what? Yeah, you just got the family card. So this is likely for most of you, this is a family member, and it's likely a parent. And then you also received the mask. Yeah, this is a covert narcissist. This is somebody who lots of people probably think they're an amazing person, the best person in the entire world, like their best friend, but they are secretly behind closed doors, super toxic. They might have might be very aggressive, might have a big temper. They just blow up out of nowhere. They have a tendency to stab people in the back. They're not honest. They play a different role with different people, and you might have had chilling experiences with that, where like all of a sudden the mask drops and it's like you're looking into the eyes of a devil. You know, like for some of you, you're literally dealing with a legit narcissist, someone who could be diagnosed, and you might have experienced situations where they have a narcissistic injury. So what that's referring to is when you say or do something that like triggers this person's ego and they're wounding, and they will go into a rage. And some people have even talked about like their eyes like go black, like they really like are not the same person. It's a very scary experience. Now, of course, that's not going to resonate for all of you, but it came forward, so I need to address it. Yeah, the sense that I get is black eyes, really, with this Jason mask. You can't see anything, like just empty, and violent is the sense that I'm getting. What is this person? Ah, yes. Fire. And this is the Frankenstein card. And this card is coming out too. Flight. Okay. So the sense that I get is that those that had supported them are going to turn on them. And it's literally going to feel like, they're going to feel like it's a witch hunt. They're going to feel like all of these people have just turned on me and they're villainizing me. And this might be people that had turned on you. Like the sense that I get is like flying monkeys. And that, I'm using a lot of like terms that are typically talked about when you're talking about narcissistic abuse patterns. A flying monkey is a person that has been manipulated by a narcissistic individual, and they twist back so that they can get this person to be an ally and sort of use them as their eyes. So they could use another person to manipulate you and make you feel bad or find out pieces of information. It's like really, really toxic. But these people are going to turn on them. They're going to see the behavior for what it is, and they're going to be burning bridges. Like everything that they had built is going to go up in flames. And that might be like the sense that I get is personal relationships and control over those relationships is really important to this person. And they're going to end up in isolation and alone. Everyone's going to be running away from them. And they're not going to be able to understand it. That's what's going to be so painful for them. It's not like they're going to be able to have an awakening, an epiphany where they're like, okay, I understand. I understand the role I played here. I understand what I need to do differently. No, they're just going to be stuck in this cycle, repeating. And, you know, you've gone through a lot of pain, but I want you to know that the fact that you're able to recognize like where you might have gone wrong, where you might have trusted someone that you shouldn't have, or, you know, even in your own circumstances where you might have like said or done something that you feel bad about, the fact that you have the ability to self-reflect is actually a true gift, and you should be so grateful for that, because not knowing what you're doing wrong to create your own misery is like a real like purgatory energy. You're trapped. There is no way out because you can't even identify the problems. So even though this person is truly toxic, they are in their own personal hell. They just cover it up really, really, really well. Okay, let's find out some more about how this, what kind of karma this person is going to be experiencing and how this will play out in their life. What kind of karma is this person going to be? Wow, there's a lot of cards. Okay, so first card here is time apart. Yeah, people are going to be walking away from this person. They're not going to want to be with them. They're not going to want to spend time. Long term, this is going to be something that they're dealing with for a really long time. These kinds of like the pain. And they're going to need to have a lot of self-reflection. Like this might be something that they have to deal with for the rest of their life. Like if this is a toxic parent, for example, you might disconnect from them and they end up, you know, being all alone in a senior's home and no one comes to visit them. You know, like they've burned every bridge. They have no connections any longer and they're just sort of wasting away on their own. And obviously that's a terrible thing. Like I'm saying these words and I'm like, whoa, that is brutal. But this person created this. They created this. They wove this tapestry, and they do have the potential to fix it, but they have to take out every one of those stitches. They have to unweave the entire tapestry. Gifts, hate, chase, fantasy. Okay, so this person has got some serious envy of other people's gifts and talents. They are so blinded by what they're trying to chase in other people, that they're not even recognizing their own gifts. They're delusional. They have their own special gifts and talents that they have not utilized at all in this life, because all they're doing is focusing on what other people have, the light that they have, and they're trying to extinguish it. It's so sad. Gaslight. What did I say? Yes, they are gaslighting you. So don't think for a second that it's all in your head, or, you forgot that, something that they told you, or you're being unreasonable. That's exactly what they want you to think. That's where the manipulation comes in. That's where that devil energy comes in. But they are gaslighting you. No. Okay, so I don't know if you had a question in your mind that you were wondering, like, should I get back together with this person? Should I start giving them the benefit of the doubt? No. Whatever it is, just no. Stress, they're going to be under a lot of stress. Humor. Admiration. Oh, interesting. You also got the yes card. So they are, the sense that I get from this is that they are going to be going back and forth. Yes and no. Not knowing whether they should go one direction or another. They might be getting real mixed signals. They might not be able to analyze people's behavior or their own vulnerabilities the same way. Their tricks of the trade aren't going to work the same way. People are also going to laugh at them, is the sense that I get. And that's going to be very wounding for this person. They are going to make jokes at their expense. And, this is a person who really wants people to either admire them or fear them. And people are going to be like, you're harmless, and they're just going to laugh at the circumstances. It's going to be really, they're going to see them as pitiful, is the word that's coming forward. And they're not going to have that admiration for this person any longer. Support. Silly. Like I said, humor. People are going to think that this person's behavior and their way of viewing things is just silly and immature. Teacher. So for many of you, this person has played the role of a teacher. That could still be a parent, like they're a mentor to you. But for many of you, this could be a confirmation that this was a teacher or a coach or a coworker or a boss. And this is also a teachable moment, right? That's what karma and these kinds of relationships are all about, teaching us something. Curiosity. Oh my God, they got the word hate twice. People are really going to be hating them. I think they're going to hate themselves, but I think other people are like that. They might have had a tendency to feel like everyone loves them. And they're going to be experiencing the flip side of that, where people are really going to hate them. And then achievement. I think that they are not going to be achieving the things that they want. And the other sense that I get is that they're going to be watching other people get ahead, right? People that have the willingness to step into their own gifts, to allow the discomfort and the annoyances of life to just roll off their back. People that don't allow these little petty little battles to throw them off course. People that are willing to put in the hard work, and that also, are willing to support others, are going to get ahead. And they are going to be stuck in this cycle where they are constantly seeking and searching, and they are going to sort of lose a lot of the vibrancy in their life and the desire, this curiosity, the excitement for life. They're really going to lose that, is the sense that I'm getting. Okay, so now I'd like to get some final cards and find out if there's some advice that Spirit would like you to have about this situation. What would you like pile number 2 to know? Okay. You received 3 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 4 of Swords, the Moon, 2 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and the Hangman. Okay, so the sense that I get here is that you are being encouraged to really reflect on the dynamic with this person, you know, even if you're not in contact with them anymore, just to like think things through, be patient with yourself, and try and see, you know, what takeaways you could have from this. The sense that I get is you're supposed to be learning something from this, that you're being asked to look at things from a different perspective. But the thing that you need to be looking at from a different perspective has something to do with conflict. The 5 of Swords is all about like verbal conflict, mental conflict, the, you know, the fight that you have potentially internally with yourself, but also the combative nature of this other person and the conflict and tension that they've brought into your life. The illusion, trying to really understand the effects of gaslighting, because it's insidious. I've experienced it, and it can be so hard to sort of pinpoint what the truth is, especially if you've been living with somebody that does this to you, or a parent. Like it can have long-term effects, PTSD even. And the Knight of Cups and the 3 of Cups. So the 3 of Cups is talking about celebrations and collaborations and friendships. And then the Knight of Cups is talking about a romantic love interest. So going back to the very beginning, many of you, this is some sort of like family friend bond, but there are plenty of you that it was like a love interest. And I mean, for some of you, it might even be that this like parental energy that kept coming forward, this like dominant mother energy, wasn't even your own mom. It was some love interest mom who was manipulating them and creating all kinds of toxicity in the dynamic that you're in. Like this could be like your mother-in-law who's like constantly jealous of the relationship that you have with her child and trying to like, you know, create conflict in your relationship. You know, like there's more than this. For this pile, there's lots of different types of relationships, but ultimately this person is selfish and narcissistic and trying to control you. And you have the potential to walk down a whole new path with this 2 of Wands. But the only way for you to break the cycle is for you to say yes to a new way of existing and no to this old pattern. But the only way you're going to recognize the pattern is to, you know, stop and reflect. Definitely take a pause. If this person is still in your life, you're still talking to them, no. You need to take a step away. I mean, like, I don't know. For some reason, guy just came forward and said to me that that's a hard thing for you to do because maybe this person is actually sick. Like this might be a family member or even a spouse that they're sick and you're taking care of them, but they're like really toxic towards you. So in that situation, this might be a time where you're going to have to start finding other resources, right? Like maybe it's a situation where you bring in like a caregiver, like a nurse to come in every other day. Like maybe you can't get away from it completely, but you could maybe like alternate days, or maybe there's another family member that could help. I know that won't resonate for all of you. That's like a message for like one person out there. But yeah, this is I feel like I think that the majority of you are thinking in your head, yes, this resonates. I know it. You're right. But you haven't fully wrapped your head around the full like intensity of this. And the thing that your guides are saying is that the reality is, because this is like, it looks like it's a karmic cycle and a pattern that could potentially be repeating in your family, like intergenerational trauma, that if you are not able to wrap your mind around this, not only do you have the potential of repeating this pattern in other relationships, but you also have the potential of taking on some of these bad habits and repeating that with your own children or with other people in your life. Not because you're a toxic person, but because you grew up around this and you don't see that, like, you don't really see the effect. How could you, right? Like, this was normal for you. So your guides will help you to figure that out. And there might be some other readings that you might need to, like, sort of watch, like shadow work readings. I have some. I think I have a shadow work playlist even. I'll link them in the description box below. But you could also look at all my playlists. And I know that I have some self work playlists that could help you, but maybe there's some other readings that will just like pop up in your suggested list. I would just like go with that. Like, if they pop up, I'm giving you the confirmation right now that they're happening for a reason. For some reason, the honeybee is coming forward. So maybe there's some connection there that'll be like a sign to you. But this concludes your reading, my friend. I hope that the reading resonated for you. I hope this helped. I would love to know your thoughts. You can leave me a comment below, and all of the engagement that I receive from you guys really helps to like strengthen the energetic bond between us, which means that if you come back, the readings will be even more accurate because I'm tapped into your energy. I have a stronger bond with your guides, and you'll find that more of the readings will feel like they are private, personal readings. And that goes for all of the readings that you watch, not just me. And of course, all of your engagement really helps with the algorithm and pushing out the content. But the primary thing is that you will get more accurate readings. And for those of you who don't like to leave comments, maybe you could leave an emoji of the scissors to indicate pile number 2, because this energy of cord cutting and like scissors and cutting people off is so dominant in your reading. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to reading for you guys again in the future. Take care. Hi, pile number 3, welcome back. So you picked the spiky seed pod, as well as the pig charm, the Ana Luisa ring with the recycled glass stone, and the yellow jasper. And as I was mentioning in the intro, these cards are going to give me a general overview of who this person is, what your connection is, and what went down between the two of you that like brought forward this karma that this person is going to have to endure. And then I'll get into more cards to figure out exactly what karma they're going to be experiencing. And I just want to mention that this is a collaboration with Ana Luisa, the jewelry line that I was talking about in the intro. And they have gifted all of you a 20% discount. So if you find something that you love on their site, just enter the code ODESSA20 at checkout, and you will receive that discount. And the link to their site is below, along with more information about the discount code. So let's get into these cards and find out who this person is. So the first card you received is a consciousness of lack, card number 5. So 5, the number 5 is talking about conflict. Then water lily, finding balance, enlightenment. Woman, dealing or relationship with a woman. The runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. Triumph of lies, card number 1. And good things come in 3s. Okay, so the sense that I get is for the majority of you, this is somebody that you were romantically connected with. Some of you didn't date this person for very long, or maybe it was just something that you were sort of like contemplating going ahead with, and it didn't really materialize into anything. For others of you, you were in a long-term relationship, possibly even a marriage with this person. And this is a person who is very ego driven. They have this consciousness of lack. So in their heart, they believe that they're not enough and there's a hole, and they're constantly trying to fill that hole with things outside themselves: external validation, material success. And no matter how hard they try, it never fills the void. This person may have like false ideas about love as well. Like they might have this idea that love is a sacrifice, they have to lose themselves, or it's painful. There's something that's connected with love that makes them feel like they're not safe, and they have a tendency to run away from intimacy. Now, the other thing that's coming forward is that this person doesn't have a strong sense of self. They don't really know who they are, and they're constantly shifting and changing who they are depending on what their audience wants and desires. So you might have found that with this person, that like every time they're with a different group of people, they're slightly different. And, you know, everyone adapts their behavior when they're around a new audience to a certain degree. Like you're not going to be the same with your boss as you are with like your very best friends. Like it has to be, you know, some boundaries there because of the circumstances of the relationship. But this is different. This is like they are like completely different people. Like they have different interests with this group than with this other group, and it's all based on like what the desires are of their audience. And partially the problem with that is that if this person never puts any energy into the things that will truly fill the void, things that they truly desire, things that really resonate with their soul, they will always be seeking, and they'll never understand why they're not feeling better. And it creates this energy of like it's FOMO, you know, like it's total FOMO. The grass is always greener. And so as a result of that, I think that they've had a lot of trouble finding balance in their life. They might have had a lot of short-term relationships. They might have had a lot of turnover when it comes to their career, or a lot of change when it comes to friend groups. And when you're young, that's not as impactful as when you're older. You know, as this person gets older, they're going to feel very isolated. They're going to feel very alone. I have a sense here that this person also does a lot of projecting. So one, they want to be seen in a certain light. So they love the honeymoon period of a relationship, whether that's a romantic relationship or whether that's a friendship. You know, when you meet someone for the first time, you're always on your best behavior. And they want everyone to see them as like royalty, like they're super successful. They have like enviable qualities, like they are number one, they are on top of their game. But in reality, they're not the prince, right? This skeleton has a crown on it. They're not the prince at all. They are the toad, right? They are a frog. So once that's revealed, whether that's the way that the other person sees them or whether that's just how they're feeling inside, they want to run away. And sometimes I think this gets triggered just by like the natural progression of a relationship. Like when you first meet someone and you're on your very best behavior, you know, you're just like, there's all these endorphins and all these chemicals that are like making you feel amazing. And you're like, sort of like, you know, high on love. And inevitably, there's going to be obstacles that you have to overcome in a relationship, because a relationship is, you know, traditionally two people who have different needs and desires, different ways of communicating, different ways of problem solving. And what strengthens a bond is coming together, accepting the other person for who they are, even if they do things differently, and finding that middle ground. But this person sees life as black and white. It's either you're right or wrong. So if you are right, that automatically makes them wrong. So there's this combative energy. And they might feel wounded and slighted at the smallest, silliest little things. Like you're just trying to work through a problem. But if you point out your disappointment in any way, they're going to feel wounded and angry. I get the sense that this person will hold a grudge. And they will run to other people to then make them feel better. So this person could very well have problems with infidelity, whether they are running to other romantic relationships or whether they're running to friends. Like they might have a tendency to go and have lots of extramarital affairs or other connections that are sexual in nature. But they might also go and run to their friends and say, oh my God, you won't believe what my, girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever said to me. And they want sympathy, and they are painting a picture of you that's negative. And it's not a reflection of who you are. It's them wanting to have power and control. And they're spinning a dynamic or a narrative that they build slowly over time. So what will happen is you will likely defend this person and protect them, as most people would for their partner. You don't want to air all of your dirty laundry, and because you don't want, your family and friends to think badly of this person. They don't see things the same way. So throughout the course of your relationship, they are painting you as the villain. And then when the relationship finally ends, or they do something to truly betray you, they've already built up this whole narrative for months, if not years, where you are the villain. So people will turn their back on you, and then you likely will feel why? What did I do? And it will intensify the wounding, right? This is a seed pod. They have planted these really dangerous seeds in their life. They are not very trusting of love is the other energy that's coming forward. I feel, like I said before, that if you are right, that means that they're wrong. So it's not even about conflict. If you're winning, they're losing. They don't see your successes as something that's positive. They are envious of that. They want you to be amazing until they feel like you shining your light is dulling theirs. They're truly in need of some serious self-reflection, and possibly many of them really need some psychotherapy, because this isn't going to just get better on its own. The charm that's partnered with this pile is the pig. Now, the pig has lots of different associations. One, it's connected to abundance, but it can also be connected to gluttony, right? An overindulgence in the material world. And pigs can also be a symbol of, sort of indulging in trashy behavior and, sort of lying in waste is the sense I get. Because pigs will not only root, that's where they're digging in the ground with their snout. They'll root through their own waste, but they'll also eat garbage. They'll literally eat anything. This person is not discerning about what they participate in. If it's going to give them a sense of fulfillment, they will go there. And that means that this won't be for all of you, but for some of you, they'll put your life at risk. They will go and have extramarital affairs, or cheat on you, use no protection, and then come home and be intimate with you. They just are in the moment, then they don't think about the consequences of anything. And they're quite, the sense I get is they're quite selfish. And the yellow jasper is a stone that talks about spiritual protection and a need for you to take action towards your own empowerment. You know, the yellow is connected to the solar plexus. It's all about personal empowerment, taking actions towards your own fulfillment, the things that are going to make you really feel successful in your own life. But it's also a stone that is used to protect, transmutating low vibrational energies. And this might have something to do with the way that you communicate, because the stone in this Ana Luisa ring is blue. It's this like really deep blue. And the blue is connected to the throat chakra. And it is a recycled glass stone. So you might have had this cycle happening over and over and over again, where this person cheats on you or leaves you, runs away, and then they come back and they're like, oh, I had an epiphany. I know better. I'm never going to do this again. And you want to believe them, and you try it again, and they do the exact same thing over and over and over again. And I think that you're a really compassionate, loving person, and you want to see the best in them. And I do get the sense that for many of you, this might even be twin flame type energy. And I do not see twin flames as your perfect partner, the person that you're meant to be with for the rest of your life. I see them as your ultimate karmic partner, where they are going to test you and show you all of the aspects of self that are failing you in some way. And what I mean by failing you is that the wounding that is leading you down a pathway where you end up repeating painful cycles. Everything about you is perfect, so I don't want you to think when I say that it's failure, like it's not that you're negative or bad or wrong or damaged in some way. We're all a combination of our life's experience from this life and past lives. But there is a pattern that you're repeating, and this person is too. Like if they're the runner, you're likely the chaser. You're likely trying to get them back or taking them back over and over and over again. And it's maybe this person right now, and you might do the same thing with somebody else in the future, and you might have done something like this with another person in the past. But this person feels like they're going to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back, but spirit is saying no more. That it has to end, because you're wasting your life. I'm sorry. That's what just came forward. And that might not resonate for all of you. Like I'm direct channeling. So sometimes like messages come forward that are like blunt and brutally honest. You're wasting time. Or like, I think some of you want to get married. You want to have family. You want to buy a house. You want to go traveling. You want to like go and do things. And this person is like future faking. They're telling you, yeah, I want all of this stuff. I'm going to do this. They are never going to follow through with it because they are in this consciousness of lack. They don't truly believe in love, and you cannot heal somebody else. You know, I know many of you are thinking, I can heal this person and I can help them, you know, grow past this. You can't. They have to want it. And everything is in divine timing. And, you know, we are infinite beings. You live forever. You never die. You reincarnate lifetime upon lifetime, learning lessons and growing. And I say that a lot, but it's true. And you might be at the point where you're ready to end this cycle. And in this lifetime, that's what's your destiny, is to end this cycle if you choose it. But it's not for this other person. They might have lots of karma that they have to like deal with before they have that awakened, enlightened moment. But it's time for you to have the enlightenment. So if this resonates for you, you're in the right place. This is your pile. If what I just described doesn't really fit with your circumstance, you might want to go and pick one of the other piles. All right, let's find out what karma this person is going to be experiencing as a result of their actions. Okay, so first, the king, control, reversal of fortune. Just like I was saying, like they want to be the prince. They want to be seen as victorious. They want to be in charge. And that is going to be taken away from them. And I do get the sense that they have had power and control in the past. Like there is going to be a dramatic reversal of fortune. This might be a situation where they end up in legal hot water. There's no guarantee that what the wrongs that they've done to you are going to literally happen to them. They are going to be, taught this lesson in a different way, in a way that will help them to like wake up, right? Like what's coming forward. And I don't know whether this is going to resonate for all of you in some way or whether this is just for one person, but I keep seeing Harvey Weinstein in my mind, and I keep being, reminded of the circumstances, like where he was like, the king of Hollywood, and he's working with all these A-list actors, and he's winning Oscars, and his abuse of people and his manipulation went on for decades until finally Me Too, and he's in jail now. So it might be a situation that's like that. And I don't necessarily mean that this person is going to go to jail, but you might be thinking, oh, but they've been getting away with this forever. That's where the reversal of fortune is going to come in. They're going to be built up to being the top of the top, and then it's all going to be taken away from them. The air, unseen potential, hesitation. Yeah, they don't even know who they are. They might have been building themselves up. They might have a very successful career, but what they're actually doing is not what they're meant to do. It's not what they're truly gifted at. They don't even know who they are because they never allowed themselves to truly explore that aspect of self. All they focus on is what other people desire, and they pursue that. Chiromancer, delivering news and collaboration. So there are likely going to be people that they come into contact with that are going to take something away from them. So it might be people that cheat on them or steal from them. In some cases, this person might fall for some sort of scam, some sort of like scheme, like they invest money with the wrong people and they lose everything. They might lose their job. They might be stealing from their company, and that the delivering of news comes forward and they get into some serious hot water. Something about like the people that they are associating with is destined, right? Like there's a palm with all of these palm reading symbols on it. It's all planetary stuff, but there has something to do with like fate and destiny. Some of the things that are going to go wrong for them are based on their choices, and others are fated. They have no control over it. It's going to go wrong no matter what because of their own poor actions. It's part of their karma. Like they could actually make all the right decisions and move in the right direction. It's still going to go wrong. The acolyte, new projects and learning. This is designed for them to learn something. So the sense I get is they might be like running their own business and all of a sudden they have to file for bankruptcy and they have to start right from the beginning again, or they get fired from their job and they can't get work. All they can find is an entry level position. Like they are going to be pushed off of their throne and they're going to have to humble themselves is what's coming forward. Okay, let's find out some more. Yeah, there's going to be the loss of material wealth. Like, so if they have a really nice car, it's going to get repossessed. If they have a beautiful house, it's going to be foreclosed on. Like the sense that I get is like, they don't just deceive you. It's like they don't pay their taxes. They, there's this sense of like a Ponzi scheme kind of thing going on. Like, taking from one person to give to another, it's all the sleight of hand. Like they don't really have what they say they have, and the government or someone is going to be coming in to repossess is the sense I'm getting. What else is what are they going to be experiencing? What is pile number 3 is person going to experience in terms of karma as a result of their behavior? What karma is this person going to receive? Yes, they just got the fate card. Like I said, there are things that are out of their control. Like destiny is opportunities that are available to us based on the decisions that we've made. They can be positive or negative. Fate are the things that are going to happen no matter what. What kind of karma is this person going to experience as a result? Oops. Okay. So combination, face, grief, and flight. Okay, so one, they might have to run away from a tough situation, or they might be trying to run away from a tough situation, and they're going to be forced to face it. So I get this sense that this might, for many of them, have to do with legal battles or something to do with like the IRS, or like there is some like governing body that is going to force them to have to face their own bad decisions. I don't get the sense that it's going to be a situation where they're necessarily going to be outed for all of their infidelity or all of the lies that they've been telling to people like on a personal level. But they lie to you, they're lying to everyone in their whole life. And yeah, like this person isn't paying their taxes or something, because I just got Al Capone, and that's how they got out Al Capone. You know, like he was doing all kinds of stuff that was illegal, murders and all kinds of stuff, but they got him on tax evasion. And for some reason, I just realized there's a card here that I don't know why, but it was off to the side. And it is the witch card, experimentation and rebellion. You might be witchy, you might be connected to the mystical and the magical in some way. And you might have been trying to manifest some sort of balance with this person. You might have been trying to bring in some karma. Well, it's working. It's 100% working. And if that doesn't resonate for you, this might be an energy of, you know, the universe stepping in and like creating something for you. Like they're alchemizing something for you that's going to bring in growth. As this person's light dims, yours will begin to shine. They are going to be experiencing a lot of grief. They are like, I mean, this might be a time in their life where a lot is lost, you know, and like, you know, things that you might feel like truly are unjust. Like they might lose their job and their dog dies all in the same week. And, you know, then they, you know, get notice that they're being evicted. Like there's just this like a perfect storm. It just feels like all of this stuff is just piling up, but it all happened because of their own selfishness and their own recklessness. They are distorted in some way. Like they are like they are not truly identifying how their actions affect others. And so all of that, you know, there's this sense of poison and like lower vibrational energy that they indulge in, and they don't see how negatively it influences them. There's just a lot of selfishness and a desire for control is what's coming forward, and they're going to lose control. Okay, let's get more cards. This person, you know, might actually end up, like, I get the sense that many people see them as very attractive and powerful, and this person might be chasing youth, and things are gonna go dramatically wrong. I get the sense that, like, as this person ages, they might want to do a lot of cosmetic procedures, and they might have some sort of like either they take it too far where it ends up looking like really strange, or there is some sort of like botched procedure, something that they can't correct is the sense that I get. Yeah, because they're too focused on like superficial stuff. Okay, what karma is this person going to be experiencing as a result of their actions? Okay, you received sleepless nights. They are going to be dealing with some serious pain, some serious anxiety and worry. They might even end up having like sleep paralysis or like, you know, night terrors or something. But I get the sense that for many of them, it's like they see the writing on the wall, like they're worried about what's going to happen next. That's where I feel like it has a lot to do with legal problems. Narcissist. So they have, many of these people have very extreme narcissistic tendencies. Like they you know, might not be what I would describe as like a diagnosable narcissist, because that is a real medical condition. It is part of the DSM-5. It is like a disorder, a personality disorder. But it's also a spectrum, you know, like lots of people can have the same kind of like tendencies and not be like literally a diagnosable narcissist. But some of you might be dealing with someone who's that extreme. Then the card recognized came out, as well as simple and husband. Oh, interesting. So this person might want to be recognized and seen as important, and they aren't going to be. They're just going to be seen as like an everyday simple person. And to you, that might not seem like it's like karma at all, but to this person, that's devastating. They don't want to be like everyone else. They want to be special. And everyone's going to just see them as just normal. Like they're not going to see any like special light or anything, you know, enviable about this person. That's going to be devastating. Now, the husband card could mean that the husband of some of these, you know, affairs that they've had, they're going to be like found out, like someone's going to confront them. There might even be like physical confrontation. For some of them, they might end up like, you know, getting into a physical fight with someone's husband. And can you clarify that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, spicy came out to clarify the husband card, as well as perfect and the ex. Okay, so it's possible, yes, someone's husband is going to find them out and then like literally confront them, and it's going to be really like unfortunate circumstances for them, because they might end up like getting their, you know, getting beat up or something like that. Or it might be the tipping point, right? This might be the situation where someone's husband finds out and like, you know, talks to their boss or talks to someone who has some authority, and it just unravels like their whole, you know, everything they've built up around them. But I also get the sense that partially what they do is they try and present themselves as like the perfect future partner. Like they are convincing all of these people that they're connecting with that they want to marry them, or they're going to be their husband, or there's something long term. And it's like no one's going to see them that way anymore. No one's going to see them as exciting and sexy or the perfect person. They're all going to just see them as the same energy as their ex, right? Like they're going to see the red flags, is what your guides are trying to say. They're all going to see the red flags. It's going to become like glaringly obvious how, you know, sort of like damaged or toxic this person is. Yeah, everyone, they're only going to find people who have strong boundaries. Oh my God, that is so brilliant. Sometimes, you know, we often think of karma as like being a punishment, which it isn't. It is a tool used to balance energy and help people to learn lessons. And sometimes the universe can be very poetic about it, or they can be very extreme. It can be very dramatic. In this case, your guides are highlighting that this person is just going to have doorways closed to them, and they are going to have people brought into their life that will never fall for their tricks. You know, and they're going to end up feeling powerless and weak, which is what they want everyone else to feel like. So they're only going to encounter people that have strong boundaries. They're going to be guided towards these people that won't give them the time of day, that will make them feel very, very small. Ooh, man. That was a lot of cards that all came out at the same time, but I will take them. Okay, so gaslight. So they gaslight you, and I think that people are going to start gaslighting them. It might be a situation where they also meet a lot of people that are just better at this game of manipulation than them. Chase. They've been the runner. They're going to start chasing others. They might actually find that some of their emotions that they were so closed off from start to open up, and they might start having actual strong feelings for someone, like actually wanting to marry somebody, and that person isn't going to be emotionally available. They're not going to want them. Hate. Some people are really going to have strong negative feelings about this person. And I think that that's going to make this person feel very uncomfortable. They like everyone to like them. And there's going to be people that are brought into their life that truly dislike them, and it's very obvious, and they're going to have to sit in that discomfort. And this is going to be something they're dealing with for a very long time, long term. Yes. So if there's a question that you've had in your mind, like how should you deal with this person? Should you walk away from them? Like, obviously it has to be a yes or no question. The answer is yes. Admiration. So they are going to lose the admiration of a lot of people. Fantasies. So the fantasies that they have are not going to come to fruition. Like, they are selfish fantasies. That's all it is. It's like this delusional energy. And people are also going to see the illusion that they've been projecting. They're going to have strong boundaries. They're going to see how fake and narcissistic this person is, and humor. And one of the things that I think this person really, really fears is people laughing at them, thinking that they're a joke. And that's exactly what's going to happen. This is going to be really painful for this person, honestly. This person is going to really they're probably going to experience deeper depression than they've ever had in their entire life. And it's all by design, because they need that in order to be able to break free. All right, so to close out the reading, I'm going to get some guidance from your guides. What would they like for you to take away from this? What advice do they have for you? What advice do you have for pile number 3? Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is wild, because there are so many court cards that have come out. Queen of Cups, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Wands. So the sense that I get from this is that your guides are saying that you are at a crossroads. I think that you might still be connected with this person, whether or not that's in the physical is, going to be unique for each of you. Like, some of you might still be in contact with this person, you're still dating them, like, where you are, sort of going back and forth with this cycle of sort of off and on energy. But for others of you, you're not in contact with this person. They might have, I hate to use this term, but it did come forward, discard. They might have walked away from you and they discarded you. You feel like you've just been thrown away, and they're on to some new relationship, but your heart is still tied up with this, and you are at a crossroads. You don't know what direction to go. You don't want to have to make the decision to walk away, like the Two of Swords is talking about. But it's time for you to recognize that you actually have the gifts that are necessary for you to have a supportive, beautiful relationship. But you have to be willing to walk away from all of the, sort of like cyclical energy of this, right? This person is prioritizing other people and other things over you, and is actively breaking down your confidence. And it's all in this foolish pursuit of gratification and external validation that's never going to fill their cup. And you know that, but I think that you put a lot of energy into trying to heal this other person, and oftentimes when we do that, it's because we are reluctant to face our own vulnerabilities, our own fears, and our own traumas, right? It's easier to have clarity on what is going wrong with another person. And when you've got this person, the runner, and as I mentioned before, you are likely the chaser in this situation, and the chase card did come out. You might also be in a pattern of seeking external validation to feel good about yourself. And I've been the chaser before in my life. I recognize this pattern. I empathize with you. And the way to break free of that is to recognize that you have a strong light. You have your own gifts. Start pouring that energy into you, filling your own cup. Queen of Cups, you're likely a very intuitive person. You might have your own spiritual gifts. You are loving, compassionate, creative. So what do you want to do? Like, what is the goal and the desires and the achievements that maybe you've put on hold because you pour a lot of energy into this relationship? Maybe you can start redirecting some of that energy away from this person, not, start to watch tarot card readings that are all about what your next achievement is going to be. What are you building in your career? What are your greatest skills and talents? And stop watching readings that are more about love, and that might not resonate for all of you, right? Some of you are thinking, I never watch any readings about love, but there's lots of people that watch this, and some of you do watch a lot of readings about love. And maybe it's time for you to just fall in love with self, right? And it's not going to be like that forever. You're going to come back into a cycle of love and partnership again. But you have to have that like strong partnership with self first. And I would say it looks like with the Three of Pentacles, you're supposed to be building something for yourself. So do you have a side hustle that you really want to start? Or there's some sort of hobby that you really love, or something you'd like to try or pour more energy into? And the Three of Pentacles is also talking about collaborating with other people. And, really think about, what is it that you are passionate about? Like, you have 3 Pentacle cards, Page, Knight, 3 of Pentacles. So there's likely some sort of idea that has to do with career, or some sort of like business prospect that you have, that really that's where your focus should be. And then you can come back to love a little bit later. Because there's doorways that you have been walking past because you didn't realize you had the key to open them. That's what your guides want me to tell you. Like, focus. And honestly, that's what happened to me. I was with a person that really did not see my light, really did not value me. I was constantly chasing after them as they ran away and did whatever with whoever. And then when finally the tower fell and I had no choice but to leave, I poured all of my energy into me. Who am I? What do I want to do? And with that, I built this channel, I built a business for myself, and I created so much abundance for myself in so many different ways. And now I am such a dramatically different person. I would never fall for any of this again. And I don't judge you, right? That was part of my path to get to this point, and it's part of your path as well, right? My eye just fell on this fate card. It's like meant to happen this way. So now it's time for you to start planting those seeds and starting to work towards having your boundaries and disconnect from this person. I would suggest possibly even having a cord cutting done. Like, that's something that you could research, because you did get the witch card. Like, some of you are witchy. If you're not witchy, I mean, you're witchy, a little bit witchy, because you're watching a tarot card reading. But if you have magical gifts, talents, skills, do a cord cutting, cut the energetic connection with this person. If you don't feel confident doing that, reach out to somebody who might be able to help you. I do cord cutting. That's part of my Reiki, my distance Reiki sessions. So I would be happy to help you. If you wanted to reach out to me through my site, we can chat about it. But there's also tools online if you want to look into that. But it definitely feels like it's time for you to take a step away from this person. So that concludes your reading. I hope that it resonated for you. I know that this is probably not the, advice that you necessarily wanted to hear. You might have wanted to hear that this person is going to learn the error that they've, made, and recognize how amazing you are, and come back and you're going to live happily and abundantly together forever. That's not how it's going to play out in this life, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to have that in a future life. I know that's probably not, again, what you wanted to hear, but this is just one chapter in the story of your soul. And I do get the sense that there is some twin flame-ish energy here. So just know that things are working out to your benefit. And if you can't find lasting love with this person, that doesn't mean that you can't find lasting love with someone. If you hang on to your ex, how will you ever find the true, perfect husband or wife? So I would love to know what your thoughts on the reading are. You can leave me a comment below, or you could potentially leave me just like an emoji if you don't feel like leaving an entire comment. Any engagement that I get on an active level from you guys actually strengthens the bond, and you will find that the messages will resonate with your circumstances even stronger, because you are creating that relationship between us. So the readings will come forward and they will be much more specific to your situation. And that's not just for my readings, that's for every reading that you have online. The more you engage with it, the stronger your bond is with that particular reader, and the more the reading messages will reflect your own unique experience. So if you want to leave an emoji, you could leave a moon symbol, or any, it doesn't really matter, but that's my suggestion. And then I'll know that you picked pile number 3. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me, I do private readings. You can find all of that information below. You just could go to my website, odessamull.com, and all of the info that you're looking for on my services and pricing are all there. And don't forget about the Ana Luisa gift, the 20% discount. And I have had such a lovely time reading for you guys, and I look forward to connecting with you again in the future. Take care.